Okay, time for the last video of the day. So, this topic is about love and hate, and not in the usual context, but just in the context of that's another like popular thing in the culture today and in the church culture as well. Asking if that's loving, or is something hateful and all that kind of thing. And so we need to evaluate this in context of the Bible as well, and of course in a balanced way. So, if something is loving, if we're being loving, and being loving in the right way, are we being what they call a hater or discriminating or anything like that? So those those terms have been just flung around everywhere during the last decade and more. So of course that's a hot topic to address. So okay, now um, there's some questions here I started out with, like for instance, is it ever wrong to love? Is it ever okay to hate? Is it ever okay to discriminate? Those words have also been sort of charged with a certain meaning. And this happens with so many things. The term gets defined and redefined and just packed with a whole bunch of baggage that basically probably doesn't even belong there. So, anyway, with that in mind, I'm going to read a couple of Bible verses first, and then I'll jump into this other thing here. All right, so the first one is Proverbs 6, and it's verses 16 through 19. Oh, let me highlight this. Okay, wait, I gotta push this button, make this bigger. Okay, so verses 16 to 19. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. Okay, so we have a list here, and I could talk about each one of these for a long time, but anyway, I mean, we have a list of things that it says God hates. And looking at the list, they're obviously bad things. So, is it okay to hate bad things? Well, if God hates anything, there must be a reason for it. And since these are bad things and God hates bad things, it's okay for us to hate bad things. And in other words, it's okay to hate as long as you're hating the right things. You have to be hating evil, hating bad things, okay? So it's never good to love bad things, okay? So that's like the opposite. And then, um, of course, we need to love good things, and there are plenty of Bible verses about that. Okay, and then we have the next verse is Romans 12, verse 9. Okay, let me put that there. Okay, let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil, cling to what is good. Okay, and abhor is another word for hate, like detest, despise, hate, abhor. You just vehemently detest that, you hate it. Okay, so we're to hate what is evil and cling to what is good. And of course, there are many Bible verses to talk about loving what's good. So I thought I'll make another chart here. All right, I gotta fix this. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, we have, in this case, again, 4 possibilities or 4 things to do. One thing is we can love what is good, okay? And let me get this one here. We could also love what is just a possibility. Okay, I'm not saying to do this. Love what is bad or evil is one thing that could be done. Okay, all right. And then we have hate what is evil or bad. Okay. And then we have hate what is good. Okay, so these are just the 4 cases you could have. Okay, and we know there's that well-known Bible verse about calling good evil and evil good. So of course that will play into this, but it's just kind of part of the context anyway of this. So, all right, now the Bible says to love what is good. I mean, there are many Bible verses about that. I didn't make any list for that, but okay, so love what is good. Obviously, that's good, so I'll put a check mark here. And then we have love what is bad. Now, obviously, no, we're not supposed to do that, but that's one of the things the world does. And they'll try to tell you, oh, if you don't love everything, if you don't love this and that and everything else too, then you're not being loving. Well, no, in that case, we're not supposed to be loving. Okay? That goes along with how we're supposed to do this, hate what is bad. So we hate what is bad, we don't love what is bad. And that's the balance here, of course. I mean, we got to love what's good and hate what is bad. Now, there are many people out there who hate what is good, and they'll try to tell you, oh, it's because it's bad, but it's not bad, it's really good. They just want to call it bad. So, of course, that's wrong. Okay? And at the same time, hating what is bad is the same thing. Do not love what is evil. Do not love what is bad. So do not love what is bad. So you do not love what is bad. You hate what is bad. Okay, so we hate what's bad. And then we're not supposed to hate what's good. We're supposed to love what's good. So do not hate what is good. So this is an example right here. We're not supposed to hate what's good. That's an example of bad hate. Okay, so hating what's good is an example of bad hate. Hating what's bad is an example of good hate. And the same with love. I mean, loving what's good is an example of good love. Loving what's bad is an example of bad love. Okay, so so this is what we're supposed to do right here. Okay, love what's good. And hate what's bad. Okay. So I mean it's easy. I mean, pretty clear, but I just wanted to highlight the difference, a bit between the right kind of love and the wrong kind of love, and the right kind of hate and the wrong kind of hate. So so don't love what's evil and don't hate what's good. Love what's good and hate what's evil. And the same thing goes for the word discriminate. I mean, it's also become a dirty word. But again, if you're discriminating against something that's wrong, you're supposed to discriminate. Discriminating itself is not a bad word. To discriminate just means you're scrutinizing, you're examining, you're evaluating, and you're screening out certain things that are not good and accepting what is good. You're being discriminating about that. You're being discriminating when you go to the produce section and you pick out fruits. You look at the peaches and turn them around and see if there are any spots on them. And of course, you don't want to buy that one. You're being discriminating. You're being a discriminating shopper. I mean, when you look up that word in the dictionary, you'll see that's what it means, just exactly to examine it and see if it passes the test or not. So just like judging, that's something we are supposed to do. It's like quality control. So discriminating depends on the context, if we're applying it correctly or incorrectly. So it's just another example of the kind of thing that's happened to a lot of language. It's become what they call loaded language, and it's not the right meaning for every context. Sometimes we have to discriminate, and it's a good thing. So again, just like this, it depends on the context, and that's it. So same thing, it goes for other words that are similar. Okay, it's the object. It's not like, only the action. It's the object upon which it's focused. So here is the thing, good or bad. That's what makes the difference, is you're supposed to love it or hate it. So love can be good or bad, hate can be good or bad, and depending on that. In the same way, if God hated certain things, if we're supposed to hate certain things, then that's the right kind of hate. If we're supposed to love certain things, God loves certain things, those are good things. We're supposed to love those things. In that case, we're supposed to love. So it's not in the term lover or hater, it's just applying it in the right way. And that's so important for so many things. Some examples here: love does not approve of or embrace or celebrate or participate in sin or false teaching, false religion, but instead warns against it. So that's what love does, okay? And love does not say, oh, yes, go right ahead and drink that poison if that's what you want to do. It's not, that's not loving. To not tell the truth and to not warn is not loving. To tell the truth is the loving thing to do. Sometimes the truth hurts, but that person still needs to hear it. It's tough medicine, but they still need it. So, that's what you do. You warn. You don't just let it go, because that's what's not loving to do. And again, that person might need that tough medicine, or they might need to know that there's poison in that and they shouldn't take that. So that's the loving thing to do. The point is, you're looking out for their best interest, okay? Because that's the loving thing to do. Is this going to be good for them, or is it going to be bad for them? And you tell them that. You warn them about that. Love does not tolerate what is harmful or wicked. And as a parent, you have to think with the mind of a parent. If you're a parent, love does not just not warn their child of the dangers of drunk driving, but love does warn of the dangers of such things as drunk driving. And it's the same point, like you're looking out for their best interest, their welfare, their safety, their just well-being overall. And that's the loving thing to do. And sometimes it's painful, but that's the loving thing. And a parent, the same way, if they're a good parent, they do everything for their child, for their well-being. And sometimes that includes discipline, but it's done out of love. If it's for the right motive, they want to keep their child safe from harm. And if the child isn't listening, it needs to be disciplined so it will listen and stay out of danger in the future. So anyway, that's it for this one. It's kind of short. It's just about the context of loving and hating in the correct biblical way, just applying that in a balanced way and not jumping to one extreme or the other, or being ushered around by the buzzwords in the culture. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, that is it for today. So I'm going to start in Romans tomorrow. Okay. If anybody's listening tonight, just have a blessed evening, and I'll be back tomorrow.